Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. It's Saturday the 4th of May 2024 and it's approaching 20 past 8 in the evening. Bit of an earlier finish than normal. Our last race at Yarmouth was around half an hour ago. So let's have a look through at today's meetings, which were Newmarket, Goodwood, Thirsk and Yarmouth on the flat in the UK. And we've had an exciting winning day. Seems to be at the moment it's every other day, but we'll take it. So let's go in and have a look at our profit and loss sheet. We had staked £1,000 today in 20 races and we returned 1275.28. So on the day we had a profit of £275.28. So that goes to now, if we look at the bottom, we're back in profit to a £50 stake of 168.08, or if you want to work it out to what you've got it for, it's 3.36 points. So other than that, I think we've had a blinding day really. We're going to go through that in just a moment. Let's have a look on the 4th. So today's meetings, we had 8 races at Newmarket. The only bet we didn't have there today was the 2,000 guineas. We couldn't anyway because 2 horses had only run twice, and also the favourite was odds on. And that goes for another race at Yarmouth tonight. I think it was the first one we were going to have a bet in. That was also an odds on. So we weren't going to be betting on them because we gave them as top selection. We're getting down to Newmarket, as I say, 8 races there today, 4 winners and 4 losers. So we came out level at Newmarket. And then at Goodwood, this wasn't so great either. We lost £42.31 at Goodwood. And then moving into Yarmouth this evening, we made a profit there of £217.59. I've done that wrong. Hold on a minute. I thought it didn't look right. And at Yarmouth tonight, we've made a profit of £67.59. So that's got us in to a profit for the day. And then look at your Thirsk tonight or this afternoon. 5 betting races, 5 winners, and a profit on that side of it of 250. So absolute brilliant at Thirsk. So that's what we've got to look forward to. We're going to go through the races in just a moment. But as I say, all in profit for the start of this month. If anyone still wants to join, you can let me know. The email's at the top of the screen. And let's go into those important races. Well, you can see at the bottom here, there's a sea of green. But we do have 5 losing bets. And in each of those 5 losing bets, we did have the second horse home. So when you look back to yesterday, you scratch your head and you think, why was it so bad? Why was it so good the day before? Why is it so good today? What happened yesterday? I can't tell you. It's just one of these things every other day at the moment. So we'll start off at Newmarket. And in our first race, the 110 Unequal Love started us off there with 5.51, and we did have the second as well, just in case anything went wrong there. Then into the 145 at Newmarket, we had Desert Cop, 28.5, and we also had the second and the third and the fourth. Those 4 there in my top 5 selections I'd given there, all double price there. So we started with that, and I mean that was an OG Murphy horse, and to get a price of 28.5 on him is rare, very rare. Then going into the third race at Newmarket, the 220, we were only one out here, Liberty Lane. So we were just out, but of course we had the second there, which was Dutch Decoy. So we were unlucky again. And then in the 255, this was a big winner of one of the top races today. This came through and won at 55. That was 7 questions. But I didn't have it as my bottom selection, strangely enough. But we did have Var Dream that was coming fast and late. 7 questions was the one that came fast and late. But I thought Var Dream was going to hold it at one point. 17.9. So again, we did okay there. Then if we look at the 2000 Guineas, this was a no betting race anyway. I'll just go back. You can see 2 horses here had only run twice. I do like 3 runs. And also, if the favourite is odds on at the top, I don't just want to be betting on one horse in the race. So again, that was another pointer that I didn't back it. And I don't know if you saw me put up a video a couple of weeks ago. I had City of Troy versus Henry Longfellow. And I sort of said that Henry Longfellow, I think, is a classier and better horse than City of Troy. Not that I said City of Troy was not going to win the Guineas, but it was so disappointing today, that horse. I was really upset for it, really. It wasn't a good run. I mean, in our first 4 selections there, we did have the second and third. And if you remember what I said you needed to do in a race like this, was do these horses to finish in the first 4 and try and get even money on. You would have had your Hartem there. That came through. Rosalian was on the drift. Did I expect any better from that? It was okay. It was okay. A notable speech. This was okay as well at 28 there. I mean, you don't often get a Godolphin and William Buick and Charlie Appleby at a 28 odds for a horse. Mind you, it won it well. I'm sure it's going to go on to better things. But as I say, that was a no betting race for us. Then moving into the 410, we've now gone from having the first 2 winners here to the next 3 losers. But again, it's just one out for me. Maxi King, and that one at 7.97. You can see second from the top there. We had Real Dream. This was second. So again, we were unlucky. And then we kept on there into the 445. We had James's Delight here at 20.2. So that was a nice winner for us. That brought us back in it. And then into the 515, it didn't really matter which way this went. Kita Katai won it at 11.4. But my top selection here was Love Billy Boy at 27. Got beat by a nose. I would have loved that to have come in, but that's just the way it goes, isn't it? And I had the third there as well, which was Kodiak Thriller. So again, a nice sea of outsiders there. And then into the last race at Newmarket, I was now on 2 wins and 2 losses from 7. 4 wins and 3 losses from 7. And into the last one, I've got this back again. I know there's not been too many of these today, so I haven't really worried about it. But I don't know what it is in these bottom selections. It must be something to do with the weight that I'm taking off to begin with that's bringing that a long way down. But again, if you can see here, the bottom selection is on rated 85. But you're talking right up to the top near enough, even here or there, which is just 91. It's just 6 lengths away. That's most probably why as well, because it's a compact race. But yeah, so this was another loser we had. This was Crack Shot. But the second here, which went off at 69.7, we had that one. So it could have all changed, but they come for a late gamble on this and Julie got it. So 4 winners and 4 losers at Newmarket. Wasn't too terrible. We drew level there. Made a bit of a loss in our next meeting. That was Goodwood. And we started off with Mission to Moon. Not great, but it brought us around £30 back. So it was better than losing all 50. Then into the 245 Punctuation. This was another one that sort of got me out of it because I didn't have the second, same in the last race. So that was another sort of £25 in the bin rather than losing it all. So that was okay. But then we came through with a winner in the next race. And this was our second selection in Maglark. This one at 7.8, and we did have the second follow us home there as well. So that got us back in it. And then 4-horse race. See, if I had the time, I would be looking at all the form properly. Do I bet in 4-horse races? Am I winning in them? Am I losing in them? When we back with an odds-on favourite in it, does it just need to be the top selection where we say we're not going to bet it no more? Or is it got to be an odds-on favourite in the race to cancel it? It's a difficult one what to do at the moment because I don't get time to sit here and do all the stats I need to do. So no half measures came through and won this. I couldn't do much about it in a 4-horse race. And McLovin, we had the second, but we were always going to have the second because we had all the other horses. So that was that. Now I just want to bypass Thirsk for a moment and go into tonight's meeting at Yarmouth. Our first race here, odds-on favourite, duly obliged. And this is what I was saying about this kind of race. You know, do we just put a line through it and not do anything at all? Would you rather back the odds-on favourite and be done with it? I need to see the stats somewhere along the line for those races. But it was a no bet today. Then into the 625 at Yarmouth, we had total lockdown here, but we also had the second Vision of Hope. So that was another winner for us, 5.5. And then we had the next winner at Yarmouth, which was Zipster, Billy Locklane, 10.5 was this winner. So it was just all going my way for a change every other day or something. And in the last race, this is another race I want to pinpoint out. This was even money just before the off and they hammered it. This was Wild Tiger. I don't think it ran impressively. He pushed it from a long way out. It was just better, classier than the other horses, but if there'd have been something of use in it, it would not have won. So again, I've only got this to finish last, so I'm backing all the horses in the race anyway against it, and I've still got a tenner to put on that at the bottom. So yeah, it returns as 17 quid, but we've lost £33. But are we better to just scrub the race? You know, when you've got an odds-on favourite in it. I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with just the amount of runners that we need to delete off of here. I'm trying to narrow it down to get winners. That's what I'm trying to do. Now, if we go to Thirsk, where I've had 5 bets there today and 5 winners, doesn't often happen. So we'll start off with the first race, and you can see that there's plenty of runners. And this was Wob Wob Wob, 7.62, and this come through very late to win it, but I had the second as well, Mythical Phoenix. So it wasn't too bad. There was a steward's inquiry after, but it didn't affect the winner. So that was the 210. Then we went into the 240 at Thirsk and Titan Rock. You look at the form of this, you scratch your head, you don't even know how it's won it. But I've got this at 15.8, and again we've got the second there, which I thought was going to get up in the dying strides. This is Look Back Smiling, but again we would have made a little bit of a loss if that would have won, but it's better to get some money back. Then into the third race, This was the 315. Now, I don't know if anybody watched my video on Thursday, but I did say that this one here was the one I fancied. And this was Star of Lady M, which this morning was around 19.5, I think. Something like that. And it's gone off at 14.6. And it's won well enough. And, you know, why I took these ones in, I don't really know sometimes, but these are the kind of prices that I want to win. I don't want to sit here and back these 1 to 3 shots and 1 to 4 shots. It doesn't interest me. So anyway, that was the best bet of the day. That was Star of Lady M. So let us know if you went through the video and saw that and backed it. Then we go into the 420 at Thirsk. This was another fast handicap, and they couldn't get to it. Vocal Studies was our second selection in there at 24. And again, if you look, we had the second in Irish Flame, which was 34, and plus we had the favourite in third. I'm not saying that it takes a lot of doing because I've got 7 horses. But again, it was another big priced winner. And then in our 5th race there, which was the 455, Dark Jedi, we did back this last week when it got beat, and it comes through today and wins really well and brings another horse with it in Hurrah to come second. So a 5.82 winner there. So exciting times today. I just need to see a little bit of consistency with it all, because the day before was similar to today, and yesterday just went to pieces. I just don't know how one day it's completely different. But I'd rather see an average, you know, like we've got at the moment 3.36 points up within the 4 days. I'd rather see 0.85 of a point or something on an average. I'd rather see that coming sort of in profit every day of about 40, 45 pounds. I'd rather see every day. So we're seeing consistency. But tomorrow we don't know if we're going to lose what we've won today. We don't know if we're going to win again what we've done. We don't know if we're going to draw level. We had a couple of days at the start of the month there where we had 20 winners from 40 and drew level over the 2 days. I don't know if that was the end of the month or when we went into the start. I can't remember. No, I think it was at the end of April. You know, and I thought to myself, this system, there's something there, because like you look again today, we may have had all those winners, but out of the 5 losers that we've had, they've all come second. And this is what's been happening. Like yesterday, I can't even tell you, it was just such a poor day, I wouldn't even want to go back on it. But when you go back on those other ones, where we had 20 winners from 40, 17 of those losers that we had was second out of the 20. Second was 17. So when you get a system that gets as close as it does, there's something there that you got to take note of, and we've got to keep forward in this. I still don't know whether of putting the same amount of money in one race. I still don't know whether to do that, because it just levels it out, and yes, you don't lose as much, but for each one that you profit over the day, you're going to get £50 for it. You're not, because everybody does different. In my subscriptions, everyone does different amounts. So I just have to put it up as 3.36 points, but at least in 4 days, that is a profit. So I did speak to somebody about whether you would double up your stake. And I've never seen this system, and I've been doing it for a long, long time, this system. I mean, I can remember Rough Quest winning the Grand National, and I can't remember what year that was at the moment, but it was 1987. It might be too old, that I'm not too sure. And I was doing that system then because that's how I picked that horse out. And then they backed it down to 6-1 favourite. I'll never forget that. And I had the straight forecast as well. That doesn't often happen in the National. So what you do with all these systems that you do get, you do start tweaking them a little bit. But they're no good to work out when you're looking at a 1-5 favourite. Don't come forward and tell me what your system is, because we can all find that one, right? But when there was 150-1 winners and 125s and 100s, John Jenkins had one in the week last week, 125-1, I think it was Tilsworth Turf or something. You know, someone go on there and say to me, mathematically, it's no good just saying, oh, the ground was right and everything like this. There's got to be something mathematically there that you can bring to the table and say that's the reason that horse run well. It got rated 58 after that. It'd never been anywhere near 58. So these are the things that I like to do. And then I got to see whether it works at a meeting, then 2 meetings, 3 meetings, 4 meetings. But when you can produce something like we have in the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks since I've been doing it properly, you know, when you can get winner after winner or your losers come second, I don't think this is something out there that someone's going to be able to beat. You can all come back and say, well, I'll just do the nap, I'll just do one selection for the day. But if I was doing one selection for the day, it would still take me all that hard work to get to that one selection. I would still have to work out somewhere in the region of 25 races just to narrow it down to one. So I don't really want to do that. But I do like the idea of doubling it up, because I know I've never gone more than 6. And that is from all the form that I've done and kept and what we've done since I've started all those weeks ago. And you can see from what there is there, you know, there's not a loser winning 6, even though I've put them up at separate meetings. They're not in time order. We've only had 5 losers. But of course, the stakes become a little bit more difficult to work out, because I would do something like, let's say we done £10 profit per race. Every time you lose, you've got to double your stake. But when you get a small yellow one up here, and then it says that we've won £30, but we've lost £20 overall on the bet, that's when it all becomes difficult to add that in or merge it in. So that would make it tough. So I'm not sure I would go down that road. I mean, someone said to me the other day, don't bother going down that road. And I don't really want to. So it's not something that I want to get involved in, because 630 bets for a £10 stake, it would, no, not 630 bets, it'll be 63 bets. So if you do it for £10 and you have 6 losers on the trot, you're going to lose £630. And because you're only winning £10 per race, it's going to take you 63 bets just to get that money back. And we know on an average, and don't forget we're on Saturday, so Saturday is an average, something like 7 winners per day, maybe, overall, maybe 8 if you're lucky. It could take you a week or 10 days to get those 63 bets back. So it's a nice system while you keep drawing and drawing, but you only need that one to come along and you're in trouble. And there's no saying that you can't get 2 or 3 of those in a few days. So I don't really want to go down that road, but but we're doing something right, but we're also doing something wrong, because to make 263 then lose 288 and now win 275 is great if you're going to do that over a 3-day period, but it'll be no good if we go back into that sphere tomorrow and lose that same amount again, and then we're back to levels. So I don't want to be in that situation. I think that's the problem I've struggled with most of my life, gambling, I suppose. I won a lot of money at it, but when you break it down over the week, I've most probably just earned like a normal person going to work. I'm not one of these where you'll see them online and go, I've won $1 million here and $1 million there. I mean, I do lay out a lot of money, but it's not money that I've got in the bank. This is money that you win with and you place it back again, and then you win it again and you place it back again. So over the course of a month, you can quite easily lay out over £30,000. But it's not something you've got in your bank sitting there, because if you were losing 30,000 over the month, you wouldn't do it. So we've got to look at maybe a different strategy on placing bets, but not finding winners. That's the hardest part to do when you're making these videos. I could just make these videos and show you in advance like I do. Yeah, I could show you all these winners and you go, wow. But the hardest thing is how to make all that money around it. Or even if you're going to go on a bad run, how can you still not lose what we lost yesterday? So I think that's about it. I think that's wrapped up tonight. But I still think every single day I think about different plans, different staking plans. And I've done that all my life. I keep thinking of different ways of doing it. It took quite a long time to find out how to do Dutching. I didn't learn it off anybody else. I just did it myself. I just thought, right, well, this is a way to do it. We'll go all the way down to 50% of what you want to get back, so you will get even money. But of course, once you get to that last selection, it doesn't allow you to get back to levels, because you can only have a certain amount of money on that last selection. So that one is always going to be less. And you don't want too many of them. You can see I've had 3 of those today in orange, if you see them down the bottom there. But they haven't been a problem because of the amount of winners that's offset against it. So I've learned everything myself over the years, but I seem to be a little bit stumped with where I move forward on the next level, if you like. But I don't want to go down the road of doubling up. I did look at doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, you are going to lose if you go that far. But even if you went all the way to 50 and you think you've done 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you've laid out £150, and if you're doing double on the last one, you're going to get back 100. So you're still going to lose 50, but I'm losing 50 per race. So if it's going to take me 5 races to lose a maximum of 50, I looked at that one. Could that be the way forward? But I'm not too sure at the moment. But I'm not going to sit here just going over this all night. I'd rather do a tutorial on it or something. But let's go and bask in the glory of a winning day. And after this video, I'm going to put up tomorrow's selections. So take a look at them, because they were some serious good ones there today. And even my top selection, you could have had around 20 in the morning. So let's see what we can get on the board for tomorrow. Thanks for watching.